Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me again on this episode. In the last episode I discussed about daddy issues and how, like my father, I never had a relationship, I never had an attachment to him, and which later on went on to affect my relationships as an adult. Before I go on, I should mention about one good thing that I remember about my dad. If I don't remember many good qualities of him, was the fact that I'm able to speak my language, Igbo, because of my dad. So my dad was this African man, in one sense, that wanted to establish his culture within his home, even though we didn't reside in our town. But he made sure that each one of his children could speak the language. How did he do this? He didn't make it compulsory. He never said anything about compulsion. There was no discussion. There was no round table discussion where he mentioned that, oh, this language is compulsory. Because we lived in the Yoruba land, we tend to speak Yoruba with even my mom, and she was comfortable with it. And we speak Yoruba amongst ourselves. But with my dad, anytime you had to approach him for anything, whatever, you needed to come speaking the language. And that forced us to learn the language and speak it. So I could speak Igbo quite well. Igbo is an Igala dialect, alright? So, like I said, I'm Igala from Delta State. Due to the state's creation, the people of Igala have been kind of divided into different states of Nigeria. So my own Igala is from a town in Delta State called Ibu, and we speak Ibu, which is an Igala dialect. So whenever we needed to go to my dad for anything, we want to greet him, we want to, even though as educated as he was, I told him he read up to standard 6. Anytime we needed to go to him for anything, to greet him, he wanted it to be done in Igbo. So if I didn't understand any word I wanted to say to him, I'd go back to my mom and ask her, oh, how do I say this? And she will teach us the correct. And so with that communication, with that method of communication in the language, forced us to learn. And I can speak Igbo at least reasonably well. I can whenever I meet my cousins and I speak my Igbo, they laugh that it was not very deep Igbo, but at least it's not so bad. Like I can't even speak at all, so I can speak Igbo. And I became an adult. I was interested in cultures. I was interested in languages. So I began to speak the language. I want to converse with the language, especially with my uncles and aunts, which also endeared me to them. So yes, that was one good thing that I will not forget about my dad. And that made me to realize that he may not be such a bad man. And also when I started to review it and discover the alcoholic parents, they leave an effect on their children which affects them, like, in their adult life. And I knew that for sure my dad's alcoholism made me feel shame, made me feel embarrassed. I assumed that my friends may find him in unwholesome places, and this may cause discussions and gossips around the school. Oh, Mary's dad's an alcoholic and all of that. But I think when I became an adult and I started to think about the alcoholism, I realized that people who are alcoholics themselves need help. Okay, so, and then I, who is like a child of an alcoholic, didn't choose that for myself. It wasn't my fault that my dad was an alcoholic. No, it wasn't. None of it was my fault that my father was an alcoholic and he was absent in my life, which will later affect my relationships, being able to trust and build intimate relationship with others. It was never a fault of mine. So when I think about his life, I'm not able to find out because he's no longer with us. So I've been trying to get information from my elder ones, but I've not really gotten the information I needed. about how long did he drink for, and why he took to drinking. So I never knew the answer. I was still trying to find out from other family members as much as possible. But what came to me was, in the process of trying to heal, was that I had compassion on him. I had compassion because it was inside something. People take to drinking when there's a problem in their life and they want to like forget that problem. They want to let something like distract them away from that problem. So alcohol would be like something they turn to distract him from the problem in his life. And then before you knew it, he became addicted to it. So I had compassion on him. It became easier for me to forgive him, even though this happened long after he had died. So there was no conversation with him about it, even about forgiving him. But I knew that in my heart there was this part of myself that I didn't want to discuss my father's influence on my life. So when I started revisiting those aspects of my life, and the compassion came with insight and with understanding, I was able to offer forgiveness to him in my heart. And I was able to also forgive myself. I was able to forgive myself because none of it was my fault in the first instance. And I deserved a loving and secure relationship with my father and with other people, especially with my partner. So with that forgiveness came an ease in life, an ease and a joy and a peace to be able to approach life itself, to be able to approach relationships. People who suffer childhood trauma tend to withdraw into themselves, isolate themselves from other people. And I'm a kind of an introverted person from time, and I will mention that while I was growing up, I think after I'd had my permanent teeth, some kind of drug was administered to me that made my teeth to become colored. So I had a set of colored teeth. So what you see right now are not my actual teeth. I have crowns on most of my teeth because my teeth were colored. So with the colored teeth, I had it, and by the time I grew up older into my teenage years, I became aware that these colors on my teeth weren't going away. It made me had a poor self. I became shy. I couldn't speak confidently amongst my friends, and I tend to smile a lot with my cheeks and not open my teeth so people won't see that my teeth were colored. In a situation where parents are aware, my parents were aware that this happened, they would have looked to finding solutions for me. But none of my parents. I don't blame my mom. My mom was overwhelmed with work. She had to care for all the children, ensuring that we're in school, ensuring that food is on the table, ensuring this and ensuring that. So I pardoned her for that. But my dad could have been the one that would have engaged me to find this out, and then find a solution, especially given the fact I was the educated one who should know about the kind of drugs that should be administered on children or not. So I forgave her, and I was able to move. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and share the video with people who you think will need to hear something like this. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly click the red subscribe button. I make videos every Tuesdays and every Fridays. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.